Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flip class. Mr. Quick is taking a little break today. So London the dog is going to teach you guys all about math. Isn't that right, London? Shake your tail
Okay,
three
welcome
times
to the Flip
if you want to
class.
teach math.
It's my dog in the background also welcoming
Way
you to
more
the
than
Flip
three.
class.
I don't know if you're qualified if you can't count to three. I guess Mr. Quick will just have to take over. All right, let's jump into it.
Welcome to the Flip class. Okay, today we're going to talk about equivalent fractions. Now this is something you may have seen before, but this will be a nice quick review and something that we will be using in class the next time we see you and as we go forward. Okay, here I have three circles. Okay, they are basically the same size. I tried to copy and paste them as close as the same size that I could. Okay, now if I was going under the assumption that this was one hole, this was one hole, and this is one hole, you're looking at 3, the number 3. But if I was going to forget about these two for just a moment and only focus on this one, what did I just do? Well, that's easy. I cut it in half. This side is 1 part out of 2 total parts, so 1/2, and this side is 1 part out of 2 total parts. Okay? And let's say this was, for example, a pizza, and I was going to eat this whole side. I would have eaten 1/2 of the pizza. Okay? Now, looking at this pizza, maybe I have some friends over and we all want to have a big chunk of the pizza, so I'm going to cut it this way. And I know that's not perfect, but it's close enough anyway for right now. I've cut this into 4 pieces because I think there's going to be 4 of us coming over, eating some pizza, watching some TV, whatever. This is 1 piece out of 4 pieces. This is 1 piece out of 4 pieces. Here's 1 part out of 4 parts. And this is 1 piece or 1 part out of 4 parts of the whole. Okay? So now I have 4/4. Well, let's say one of my friends didn't show up. That left more for me, so I ate my 4th, and I ate my friend's 4th also. I have now eaten 1/4, 1/4, 2/4 of the pizza. Now you'll notice, though, and I'm going to use blue here, that this whole chunk is the same size as this whole chunk. That's because 1/2 is equal to 2/4. It's the same size. Now it's cut into a different number of slices, but it's the same size or the same amount of pizza. Now, we know when we order a pizza, they never come in 1 whole or in even 4/4, or unless you request it that way. Usually pizzas come in 8 slices. So I've got 1 slice here out of 8. That's 1/8. This is 1/8. This is 1/8. This is 1/8. Here's 1 slice out of 8 total. 1 slice out of 8 total. 1 part out of 8 parts in the whole. 1/8. Okay? If I was going to eat this slice, this slice, this slice, and this slice, that means I have now eaten 4 slices out of 8 total slices, or 4/8. Now, going back to my blue color again, you'll notice I just ate 4/8 of the pizza, which is the same as 2/4 of the pizza, which is the same as 1/2 of the pizza. Any way you look at it, we just ate half of the pizza. But because the pizza was cut into different size slices, it's a different fraction. But it is the same amount of pizza. These are called equivalent fractions. Okay? Not too bad. Not a bad concept. Now, if I did say to put the fraction in simplest form, that means the smallest possible fraction that is still equal, that would be 1/2. 1/2, 1 slice out of 2 is a bigger slice than 2 slices out of 4. It's not a bigger slice, but it's the 1 slice is bigger than each of the individual slices. The size is still the same as the whole. Let's keep going. If I gave you 2/3 and I told you I'd like you to find an equivalent fraction that had the denominator of 18. So 2/3 equals blank 18ths. Well, let me show you what I do. You have to find kind of that, and I always use my little magician's cloud here, magic number. And in this case, since we're going from 3 to 18, we're going to multiply. If we were going the opposite way, we could divide. Okay? What times 3 gives you 18? Well, I know that that is 6. Okay? 3 times 6 equals 18. So my magic number is 6. And if I multiply the denominator, I also have to multiply the numerator by the same number. So I'm also going to take 2 times 6, which would give us 12. So 2/3 is equivalent to 12/18. 2/3 would be in simplest form, but we're still talking about equivalent fractions here. If you look here, I've got some decimals. Okay, you'll see that this one whole is cut into tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's why my denominator would be 10. And you'll see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the tenths are blue. So I have 6/10 as my fraction, 0.6 or 6/10 as my decimal. If you look over here, this is the same thing. It's the exact same size, but this one is cut into hundredths. I'm not going to count them all right now, but if you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on and so forth, you would count 100 total boxes. And if you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, all the ones that are colored in blue, you would see that there were 60 or 60 hundredths that are actually colored in. These are equivalent. 6/10 is the same as 60 hundredths. 60 hundredths is just cut into smaller pieces. My magic number here would be times 10. 10 times 10 is 100. 6 times 10 gives us 60. Now, let's talk about simplest form for a minute. If I gave you a fraction, say 18/24, and I said write this in simplest form, okay, what you have to do is you have to find the GCF, the greatest common factor. I'm going to find 18 over here. I'm going to find 24 over here. 18, I always start with 1. 1 and 18. 2 and 9. 3 and 6. And I'm done. 24, I'm going to do the same thing. 1 and 24. 2 and 12. 3 and 8. 4 and 6. And I'm done. They both have 1 in common, they both have 2 in common, they both have 3 in common, they both have 6 in common, and that's where it ends. So my greatest common factor is 6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 18/24, and I'm going to, in this case, divide by my greatest common factor, which is 6, and if I do it to the bottom, I've got to do it to the top. If I do it to the top, I've got to do it to the bottom. Okay? Whatever you do to the numerator, you have to do to the denominator and vice versa. 24 divided by 6 gives you 4. 18 divided by 6 gives you 3. So 18/24 in simplest form is 3/4. Okay, what I'd like for you to do, I'm going to give you a couple of fractions here. Okay, let's start with 7/21. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to give you 8/32. And for number 3, I'm going to give you 10 hundredths. I would like for you to find these fractions in simplest form. Bring that to class next time I see you. I'll look forward to it. We'll check it out. Talk more about it in class. See you then.